able to. So welcome to Summit Forum. If you guys have not enjoyed one of our forums before yet, this is my first. So please bear with me as I navigate through this. I teach on Zoom all the time, but this is my first forum. So and this is all for you, right? You guys are a part of our wonderful Summit community that's brand new, and we are so excited about it. And all of these forums are created just for you guys as salon owners, as your dedication to our company, and being a part of this wonderful group. So welcome. Let's see, PowerPoint's gonna work, maybe. Okay. So this is hiring and recruiting for the front desk. Now, I will say, when I am coaching and when I'm doing front desk coaching and regular coaching, that's the number one thing that people ask me. Where am I getting these people to work at my front desk? So I thought that it would be an amazing topic to go through with you guys here on community. So if you guys are ready, say, yes, I'm ready.
Yep, all ready.
Awesome.
I'm ready.
Okay, good.
Totally ready.
You guys can put it in the chat bar too, but since it's a forum, I'm like, I want to hear voices. I want to hear people. I like to hear things. I like interaction, I have to say. All right, so of course, you guys all know that we are a part of this amazing group of L'Oreal PPD brands. So all of our PowerPoints and everything that we teach has all of our brand members that we are partnered with on there: Biolage, Matrix, Pureology, Kerastase, Mazzani, Redken, L'Oreal Professional, Paul Bryant, and Shu. We have this amazing relationship, and we are so happy to be a part of their community as well. All right, so a little bit about myself. I have been a Summit coach for 8 years. But before that, I was a stylist. I was a front desk guest service expert, and I was a salon owner. As a salon owner, I was introduced to Summit back in 2007 when I went to my first Summit as a salon owner. And of course, I came back with a coach in my pocket, and she taught me a lot, Heather Bagby, and I shouldn't say she. I had two coaches because my salon was huge. Heather Bagby and Nicole Mitchell were my coaches. And so then they recruited me to be a coach in 2014. So I have this amazing, longevity with this company that I love. So I gave up my salon company and became a coach in 2019 full-time. So this is what I do now. I am a regular salon coach. I am a certified front desk trainer, and I have this unique position as well as a Summit support team leader. So I travel to 7 out of 21, 22 summits that we have across the country every year, and I am a support team leader there. So I do that as well. On here, you'll see my Instagram handle if you guys want to follow me. I don't post a whole lot. I'm bad about that. But, if you want to see my kids and what I'm doing in the Summit community, you can follow me. And my Facebook is Carrie Rutt. You can follow me on my Facebook page as well. All right, so my buttons are not working. So let's go here. All right, so we're going to go through 3 hot tips. We only have an hour, and I could probably talk about this topic for a couple hours, but we only have an hour. I do want to let you know that, if anyone has any questions, they come up for you after today. I just message me and we can chat on the phone, and if you need a front desk program in your salon company, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about that as well. Let's say cosmetology schools, social media, and a bonus system. So these are the 3 topics that we're going to talk about today on this in this PowerPoint and in this forum. Number 1 is cosmetology schools. The second thing is social media. Of course, that's a big thing. And then bonus systems. So bonus systems in your company are very important as well. Goals and rewards, creating a hiring team Instagram page, and the cosmetology schools triple win and the introduction to your culture. So I'm going to go into that one first, the cosmetology schools, because I believe it's a triple win, right? So if we hire a student who's in cosmetology school to work at our front desk, let's say they're halfway through their training, and we bring them in as a front desk guest service expert, right? We're introducing them to our culture. That's the first thing, right? So we need to make sure that they like us and we like them, and this is the place for them, right? So if we bring them into the front desk, they can try us out. And then they're trained for our front desk. They can do our scheduling when they're in our associate program. They know the 4-step check-in, the 4-step checkout. They know how to rebook appointments. And then the stylists get to know them as well, and they can interview them for future associates. So I believe that this is a win-win for everyone to bring in part-time cosmetology students. Even Nicole Mitchell, when she's training for the associate program and at the summits right now, they're talking about doing this very thing, because if we go to the school and ask for the students who are almost finished school, they most likely already have a job. Right. So that's a big problem. And now it's like, okay, so how do we fix this? So let's go in, let's recruit the juniors that are almost done. If they have 3 to 6 months left of school to work at our front desk, Nicole will teach that they could be acclimated into our associate program as well, along with working at the front desk. Make sure you have a great relationship with your schools. I want to keep my chat bar open. Sorry, I know there's chat in here. Thanks, thank you, Tiff, for that. It works. They've had a lot of success with that. That's awesome. The key, though, is to have an open communication with the schools and constantly to be there. If they know you, the teachers know you, the admins know you as a salon owner, they are more likely to know who to send to you, right? Because not everyone's salon company is the same. And I believe that the better they know you, the more they're going to know who to send to you, right? And you want keep an open communication at all times, right? Any questions about that? I know that this is something for a part-time front desk guest service expert, probably not a full-time one unless they go to school part-time and at night. And then they could work during the day, probably full time. I do know a couple of salon companies that do that. They hire them full time and they're able to make it work. Anybody have any questions, concerns, comments? This forum is for all of you guys. So if you have anything, just go ahead and pop it in the chat bar, or unmute yourself and ask away. Okay.
I think the hardest thing with that is just that there is more constant turnover. And, the training takes time. And with the turnover, it seems like the retail sales, we haven't gotten that down, as we're changing over support team members as fast,
Right.
But obviously, if you're trying to grow your service providers, it's great for that. So it's, got to find out which is the lesser evils to it.
Right.
At least we have had a harder time with that.
With for them, offering the retail or
Yeah,
for,
just to get them up to speed. It seems like it takes a little while, to have them, especially if in the beginning, some of the schools are out at like 5 o'clock. So we might only get them for 2.5 hours until we close.
Mhm.
So it's just, having them there long enough, or in order to get them to that speed before they graduate,
Right.
and then starting the associate program.
Yeah. Now, Tiff, I know you've been a Summit Salon forever, but have you used the product training part of the front desk script guide?
We've used it all. I don't know if I have the latest version of it though. So before I would say yes, I would say I'm not sure if we have the current version. So I
Yeah.
want to take a
Yeah.
look back at that. You think that would help a lot?
Yeah. Give them homework, send it home with them and have them do the product training. And all, I don't know what brands you have, but most L'Oreal brands, all of them have, on their website, they have the products that are, that are listed, and they can get some training from that as well, outside of the salon. But you could also, I don't know, pull your top 20 retail items and have them fill out that product training sheet that's in the front desk script guide, and have them, just do the homework
All right, we're on it.
and report back to you.
That sounds good.
Turn it in,
Yeah.
like the associate program, they're going to turn in their homework, that they can turn in this homework too.
That
Right.
sounds good.
Yeah. And Eva and yeah, cosmetology schools, it's hard when they're an hour away, but hopefully, when you do go there, maybe someone lives in between, in between the school and where your salon company is. And I know it's hard for you to get there if it's an hour away, but
We usually make it, we make it happen and we go to the schools, but with the school schedule, like she said, she only has them for a couple hours. Most days we wouldn't even have them for an hour. And they even, the school is open on Saturdays. So by the time they close on Saturday and she would make it to the salon, she would be there, like an hour. And so it just, we maintain that constant communication with them. But having them work in the salon when unfortunately it's so far away and with the schedule, it just doesn't work. When we had a school in town, that's exactly what we did and it worked well. But it's just been frustrating since the school in our town has closed, to get that help from the schools and get them in the door, both sides, to see if it's comfortable for both people. So
right. Yeah, I see that too. I see that too. And it's very frustrating because I think that a lot of schools have shut down since COVID.
we did, if you wouldn't mind me sharing on the retail end of it, we've done the top 20. Well, I usually actually start with the top 10 and then I add them at a time, but we also have them, look at their own hair and figure out what works for their own hair. And then we have them check out those products because we have everything for back bar, and we have them check out those products for a few days and go home and use them on themselves. So they begin to understand, if they've not used the products before, how it works, how it makes them feel. And so they can talk about their own hair also with the top 10. It's been successful.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Thanks for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. So tip number 2 is social media. A best practice would be to have a hiring page, a page on your Instagram that is designated just for hiring. And you can use it for all areas of the salon if you're hiring stylists, or if you're hiring associates or front desk. And the best practice would be to like and follow the schools and their students. I do know that a lot of the schools have Instagram pages now, because I'm seeing them all over the place. And it's make it easy for them. You know, these young kids now like to just be able to click a link and fill out an application and it goes right to you, instead of walking in your door and filling it out. So attach a link for the application right on your page. I'll show you a sample of my good friend, Tim Fisk. He's in Massachusetts, and this is his hiring page. It's called Join Hurtis and Parker. And you'll notice he only has 12 posts on it. He has 380 followers. He has 97 that he's following right now currently. And you'll see this little link for them to go to, and they can apply right from there. But he does go into, if you follow him on the if you follow this page and you go to these little highlight reels, the little highlight buttons, there is how we promote, stronger together, how we learn, and the why behind all of their hiring processes, and the commission structure and the career path and all of that in all of his little highlight reels. I could go to his page. If I stop sharing, do you guys mind if we take a little field trip and we'll just go right to his page? I should have had it pulled up. All right, so here's his page, live page. Looks beautiful, you know. He just has some squares here with some of the products that they have, and then just wanted to show you the link real quick. So if you click on the link, it just goes right to his hiring page. He has these two salon companies, and then he has a boutique company also that they can apply for, all three places. So it's all right there in one spot. Do any of you guys have one of these pages that you've created yet? No. That's pretty new. I know that Tim does. In some of our social media classes, they do teach how to create pages like this. I'm not sure which one it is. It's probably the Instagram page. So if you are on Instagram Flex is another class that they teach, and it'll teach you how to create content and make your page. I call it pretty. Make your page pretty and resourceful. I can't think of a better word for it, but as you can see, they have 380 followers on their page. So they do have a lot of people following it and utilizing. This is how they, how they get a lot of their associates and staff members to apply for their salon company. Yeah, good. Okay. That's awesome. That's another thing, your website. Make sure your website looks it looks, what's a good word for it? Useful. It's not too busy, and someone's going to actually look at it and read what it says, because if it's too busy and there's too much to it, they're not going to, they just flip that right through it. But you can put this hiring link on your website as well. Yeah. Yeah. Then,
Hey, Carrie.
yes.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. One hot tip, if you don't mind, that's actually serving me really well right now in the moment is in my notes section on my phone for front desk or associates, any of the above. I kind of put a script already in there. So then when I am interested in somebody that I want to work at my front desk, I will literally just copy and paste the verbiage into their DM so that I don't have to come up with scripting. It's already done and completed. And that's just like a real quick hot tip that I feel like is working really well for me that maybe somebody else can benefit from.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Anyone else have anything to contribute to that? No. Did no, there it is. I don't know that Facebook has, a really good background for doing a page like this, but Instagram's amazing. We have a lot of salon companies from our coaches that have these pages as well. All right, and then hiring incentives. So let me ask all of you, have you guys had any front desk coaching in your salon companies? Just front desk, not your regular salon coach. Anyone? No. Okay. You had Tiff, you had Christy. Was that forever ago? Or recently?
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Had her a couple of times.
Yeah, I know. She's the one who came to my salon company too. Because she's the original. She's the front desk doctor, of course.
The OG, right?
Yes, the OG. Well, there is a whole team of us now, so if any of you are interested, please message me on community, or I didn't think to put my phone number on here, but my email is crutt@summitsalon.com.
We've also had somebody from a salon company, from Rip Salon Company. I'm not sure if she's still there. We had her a couple of times from Wisconsin. And it just made the front desk feel real special too, that, they were actually getting a training. It's so kind of rebuilding that team together versus just
so
receiving.
Right. Yeah. So with the front desk class that we implement rewards and bonuses for the guest service experts that work for us. So I think that while you're hiring and, in all of your hiring, on your socials and, wherever your platforms are that you're hiring from, make sure that you have hiring incentives or hiring bonuses listed on there, because there are goals and rewards for the front desk staff that track and plan their day, right? So when when we talk to the front desk guest service experts, we teach them, how to plan their day and how to track it as well. And then, of course, monthly, they could, if they're hitting their goals, they could get bonuses. So I think that this needs to be talked about in the hiring process, because if it's not, then they think, oh, I'm just going to get paid $12 an hour, right? So if they know that there's a possibility of earning an extra 75, or, more dollars per month in bonuses, then they might be more likely to apply to your salon company and, hear more about it, right? So goals and rewards, what that looks like is this. So the number one, so we have in the rewards or the goal system, we have 3 personal goals, and then we have 2 team goals for the whole salon or the whole front desk team. The first goal is 40 additional services in a month or $800. So and their reward, of course, if they hit that, would be a $15 bonus or whatever their hourly rate is, right? So if you're paying them $18 or $19 an hour, then that's what their reward is going to be per goal that they hit. The 40 additional services or $800 breaks down to just that. So let's say they add on a full foil, or they add on a color service. Of course, they're in, or they add a wax, right? So their additional services are going to add up a lot quicker if they add on the larger services. If you have skincare in your salon company, if they add on a facial because someone had a cancellation that day and they wanted to enjoy a facial. But we also, behind these goals, we also teach them verbiage of how to offer them, and they're offered 3 different ways. They're offered in the 4-step phone script, they're offered in the 4-step check-in, so it's or on their when they're doing confirmation calls or confirmation texts for the salons for the salon's guests. The second goal would be 5 referrals or $250. Now, 5 referrals would be anyone, of course, any of their friends or some family that have not enjoyed services at your salon company before. So we actually give them their own referral cards to give out. They're not service providers, but they refer the service provider who they feel does their hair, or their favorite, whoever it is. It's either 5 referrals or $250. So $250 could be a balayage with a toner and a haircut and a treatment, right? It depends on where your salon company is for a service to be that high, but that could be one person, or a hydrofacial if you do skincare and you have a hydrofacial machine. These are large services that they could hit their referral goal way faster if they were referring people in for these services. And again, too, we give them the verbiage for them to go out and talk about the salon company and where they work to be able to bring in new guests for the salon. And then the third personal goal is 20 gift card sales or $1,000, right? So gift card sales could be packages as well. It doesn't have to be just a gift card. And the verbiage at checkout, is also there for them to ask, if someone would like to purchase a gift card for that day, or add on to a gift card that's existing. The packages are also deemed as gift cards. So if you have a salon package, you know, let's say buy 3, get 1 free massage, or buy 3, get 1 free facial, and the value is $500, that $1,000 in gift cards is you're gonna get there a lot faster, right? I think I had a question. Someone raised their hand.
I did.
Yes.
Hi.
Why?
My question about the goals is just that my salon is smaller in the sense that I lost half my staff with COVID and we're still replacing, and half of us tend to be extremely tightly packed. There's not a lot of room for additional services.
Mhm.
Can I set those goals lower to compensate for that and still have it make sense? Or is that just basically paying out the nose for nothing?
Yeah, we always say that whether someone's part-time or full-time, they should be able to hit these goals no matter how many hours they're there. Only because if you have a part-time person, most likely it's going to be at a busy time. Now, it wouldn't make sense to have a front desk person there if you only have 1 or 2 people working, right? So I guess it would depend on Heather, how many people you have working at the time that your front desk person is working, and, you know, creating goals, those goals for them. But this is a monthly, you know,
Right.
goal. So if they only worked 1 8-hour shift per week, that would be 10 in an 8-hour shift. And I think that if it's a busy Saturday, I think 10 would be okay to give them for a goal.
Okay,
Right?
cool.
I mean,
Sounds reasonable.
yeah, the value has to be there to give them a bonus, right? Because here's the thing, $800, if you have hairstylists that are at 50%, then really truly the salon's at 400, right? And then, you know, cost of product, cost of goods sold, right? So you don't want to flatline what you're bringing in
Hmm.
with the services, right? So you want to make it make sense. Did I answer your question?
You did.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, you know, if you are interested in more front desk coaching, you know, we have Ready Set Front Desk, that there's one every month. That's like a precursor. It's a small, like 6-week course with an interactive Facebook group that you know, if you have someone who works just, you know, between 10 and 20 hours per week, they could jump on that Ready Set Front Desk and learn how to create a 4-step phone script, check out, check in, a little salon tour, you know, until you get your staff back up to, you know, where.
Actually, I'm hiring a dedicated front desk person. Like tomorrow I start onboarding them. And
Oh
so
my
they're going to take that class
I
next
love
month.
Yeah.
So I'm
yeah.
super
Do you
excited
have-
about the timing.
Yeah. Do you have her signed up for that?
Not yet. That's actually, I have a phone call with her tomorrow morning to start going over that kind of scheduling and like, this is what you're taking and doing, because she
Awesome.
doesn't want to be a hairstylist. She wants to be a guest services.
Well, that's
So-
perfect. But she's from the industry, so that's perfect. That's perfect. Awesome. And then Denise asked to explain the reward system. So Denise, I'm just going to go through the rewards for you. So these 3 items are their personal goals. So there's 3 personal goals and 2 team goals, right? So they're each time they hit one of their personal goals, any one of these, they're going to get either a $15 bonus or whatever their hourly rate is. So we don't want their bonus to be less than what their hourly rate is. And if they are at $12 an hour, then just give them the 15 for the bonus, right? So 15 is where it starts, on up if they are higher. And I say that because I know that there are different areas in the country. I coach some salons in New Jersey where they get paid $25 an hour, and I also coach places in Ohio where they get $9 an hour, right? So it has to be whatever you pay your front desk has to be what's good for your area, minimum wage, or more. But what I was saying earlier was that you could talk about, the reward systems that you could put in place for the salon company to be able to bonus them so they make a little bit more money. But it has to be, good for the salon company, right? So, like I said, if you only have, 6 or 7 hairstylists and you have someone on a shift that's just 10 to 15 hours a week, then, you're probably only going to have one person and it's all going to be up to them to add on, right? Add on additional services and bring in the referrals and, the gift card sales. The 2 other goals are team goals. They are a retail goal and a rebooking goal. Now, those are set by your salon coach 9 times out of 10. If you are coach, I know all of you guys have coaches because you're in the community, but your salon coach has set up your sales plan for the year. So your retail goal is on that sales plan, right? So whatever your retail goal is, that's going to be what their goal is going to be, right? So let's say your salon goal is to get to 10% retail to service. Your, that's what you're going to goal your front desk at, right? Same with the services for the day, right? So if you have a service dollar amount, that your coach has set in your monthly sales tracker, then, you're going to share that with your front desk team and let them know what the daily goal is every day. Me personally, for retail, I like to break it down into bottles. So if your front desk, if your goal is, I'm gonna pull my calculator out real quick. If your front desk goal is $3,000, right? And you're open 21 days in the month, that equals out to $142 a day, right? 143. Now, if your average product is about $25, it depends on if you're Matrix or Redken or if you have Kerastase, right? Then your average product's a little higher. But if you have Redken, Pureology, your average product's probably around between $25 and $30. Then that's 5 products a day, right? Sounds kind of easy, right? I mean, $142 sounds, oh, I don't know if I can get to $142, but if I need to sell 5 bottles, I might be able to do that, right? So it's just all about breaking it down, for them and your hiring and letting them know, hey, we have this bonus system and this is what it is. And you could create extra money in your paycheck every month just by, doing these 5 little things. Right. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is the hiring bonus. So if you're recruiting at $2 to $4 more than what you're at now. So let me back up because I don't want you guys to blow up your budget for your front desk. Please ask your coach what your budget is before you offer any hiring bonuses. Okay. You guys all heard that, right? Please ask your coach what your budget is because we don't want to blow up. Our budget is 5% of our gross sales monthly, right? For the front desk, 5%. And there is a little bit of wiggle room if you don't overspend in other areas, but we want to make sure that you guys aren't, your payroll's not going crazy. But, you know, I know that it's difficult because there are, you know, places out there like Chick-fil-A and, you know, Target, and they're hiring at a higher rate, and it's really hard for us to get people in our doors, right? Are you guys all feeling that? And, you know, that's what they say. Well, I can go down the street, Chick-fil-A, and work for $17 an hour. Well, we don't want them to do that. We want them to be in our salons, right? So we have to be competitive in the market to be able to get these kids who are still in school, or, you know, even someone, you know, who just wants a job, you know, 3 or 4 days a week, that doesn't want to sit home, right? We need to be competitive for everybody. But, you know, so if you are hiring them at a little bit more than what you are accustomed to, then the goals and the goals have to be, they have to be required. That has to be a part of the hirings, you know, they able to get more money for the salon company, so we can make it make sense in our payroll to pay them a little bit more. Does everyone agree? Yeah. So what other questions? I have another person in the chat. Let's see. Yes. Thank you, Tiffany. So if any of you, you know, want to, I want to back up. This is the end of my slideshow. So if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you know, just shoot me a message there if you want to talk further about, you know, the best practices for the front desk, or if you want to have a class in salon. You know, I'm not sure, you know, I know Heather shared that she has a, you know, a small staff, you know, but if you have a front desk staff of, I would say 3 or more, 4 or more, Jules, you could probably give me a, you know, you might think differently about it, but if you have a staff of I would say 3 to 4 or more people, then it would be best served to have an in-salon class. And, you know, we also have the Summit Salon 365, the top 10 front desk. We also have the Ready Set front desk, like I told Heather. And, you know, there are other resources out there. And the products, you know, I mentioned the front desk script guide. That is a great tool. You know, we look at the front desk script guide as a tool for the front desk guest service expert, just like the social digital planner for the stylist. Right. So usually everyone at our front desk has one. And then we have the front desk tracking system. That's a binder that has daily, weekly, monthly, yearly tracking sheets in them. So they can all keep track on these sheets for their bonuses. And like I said, you know, if you're hiring them at a little bit more than what you want to, then it cannot be an exception. It has to be definitely, this has to be done, you know, planning and tracking has to be done. It needs to be one of the imperative things that is trained for. In the front desk script guide, there is a disc, you know, for training for how to use the script guide. And there in the front desk tracking binder, there is also a thumb drive for the PDFs for the sheets, but the tracking system, the binder, has a page for every day of the year. Any other questions, concerns, anything coming up for you guys as we're on here?
I went offline for just a little bit, so I apologize if you already covered this.
Okay.
But as far as gift card rewards, I know that with the holidays,
Mhm.
it's, the sales go quite a bit higher. Is there something that you recommend doing because it's higher, maybe for every 1,000 that they hit, then they would get that bonus, or something in addition to for each gift card?
Well, first thing is I don't allow my salon companies to count gift cards that people just walk in to buy. Right? So they have to ask and sell it that way, as well as the packages, right? So they can't just be walking off the street and them tracking it down, because that you didn't really earn that, right? And we do rely on their honesty, because it's really hard in our software systems to see who actually did their job, right? So we have to make sure that they're honest about it. But the holiday gift card goal is usually 20% more than what we did last year. And that's an extra goal that we give them for the holiday times. Have you goaled them like that, Tiffany, at all?
Yes.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
20% over what you did the previous year.
Yes.
Okay.
And that seems to work well.
It's effective. Yeah. I mean, you have an amazing salon, so I'm sure. Sure it works. That's good though. Do you offer your managers extra bonuses as well?
Well, my manager became shareholder, so
Oh, never mind. Okay.
so we haven't had specifically a front desk manager.
Okay. That's perfect. That's good. Yeah. All right. There's a chat in the chat bar. Oh yeah. Heather said that's awesome. I love it. So any other questions or shares from you guys? Did you find this forum to be helpful?
Yeah,
Very
I
helpful.
have a question as far as the cosmetology school
Okay.
recruiting. And we get quite a bit of cosmetology students, but as we kind of discovered, the allotted time that they have in the salon, is short. But I think the earlier that I meet them and things like that, they could be really great candidates. What kind of interview questions are you finding really works to make this attractive to them? Because it is, most of the time I'm finding that it's going to be their first job, or they did come maybe from a different type of world, so they're not really in sales driven roles yet,
Right.
especially the earlier that they're getting into cosmetology, in the cosmetology program.
So your question is, just so I'm straight, is
like what questions are you finding really works as far as like the interview process, or when I'm meeting them at the schools and things like that?
We actually have a whole list of interview questions for associates and for front desk guest service experts. And if you want to message me your email, I can send it to you if that will be helpful.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Sure. Actually, I don't know if it might even be on community. I don't know if that's one of the, has everyone gone through everything that's on community? Because there is a whole, area, toolbox area with deliverables that you can download. Is everyone familiar with that area of the community page? Yeah, I'm not sure if the hiring questions are on there, but I'd be happy to share them with any of you if you want them. So, you know, some of it is based towards, you know, sell me this pen, you know, or you know, what's your best, what would your friends say about you? You know, what's your best trait? You know, things like that. You know, if you had a job before, why did you leave? Things like that. They're very helpful. Anything else? This forum is so for you guys, and you know, ask away. Don't be shy. We have about 7 more minutes left. I would love it if you guys would give me some feedback if you have been in other forums, or if you think that anything would help you or serve you better. What would you have? What are your wants and needs from our forums? Anybody?
Well, this is my first forum, so I don't have really any feedback except to say that I did learn some stuff from it, and it was nice to have it be smaller so we could ask more questions without feeling like we were taking everybody's time.
Right.
So
Thank you for that. That's good. And like I said in the beginning, all of our forums are recorded. So, you know, if there is a topic that we've had forums for and you haven't been a part of it, you can go back and listen, because they'll be posted on that forum area of our website. I know that the summit owners, Glenn and Peter, do a lot as well. So does Dave Kirby. But yeah, there's a lot on there already. Lots of stuff. Tiff, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to ask it. I mean, obviously, because things have changed over the last few years, it feels like this is going to be the first, you know, Christmas that we can kind of go back to what, you know, we're accustomed to with percentages and things like that. Is there any set, you know, percentage right now that you would recommend for your goals to be set if our gift cards were skewed the last few years? You know, it's hard. I hope they're more than 20% higher than last year.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know why? I probably would go back to 2019, maybe even 2018, and look at what your sales were for those years, and then use those numbers to set your goals, because you're right. You're absolutely correct. And it's been weird, right? It's been really weird. And it makes me so happy that now it feels like the atmosphere is pre-COVID, right? You know, it feels like the ebbs and flows are back to what they were pre-COVID, what we were used to. I feel like we're going to have a big surge in clientele at Thanksgiving, and everyone's going to be happy and feel all of that great energy that goes along with the holidays, right? And then, you know, at Christmas time as well. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, all of you are too, I'm sure. Right?
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Anything else? Anything else anyone wants to share? Well, thank you guys so much for trusting me and getting on here for our live forum. And I hope it was useful for all of you. And, look on the community for all the new ones coming up. And I hope to see you guys out in the world. Right? And enjoy your holidays. I can't believe it's like 4 weeks away. All right, you all have a great night and message me if you would like to chat.